the Magic Red Shoes. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled between rolling hills and colorful meadows, there lived a sweet and kind-hearted girl named Clara. Clara lived with her loving grandmother in a small, charming cottage with a thatched roof and a garden full of blooming flowers. Clara was known throughout the village for her helpful nature and her big, bright smile. She always wore a pair of simple wooden shoes, which her grandmother had carved for her. One sunny afternoon, as Clara was skipping through the village square, she spotted something that made her stop in her tracks. There, in the window of the village's little shop, was the most beautiful pair of red shoes she had ever seen. They sparkled and shone in the sunlight, and Clara couldn't take her eyes off them. She imagined herself dancing in those shoes, twirling and spinning gracefully. Clara knew that her grandmother couldn't afford to buy the shoes, so she decided to work hard and save up enough money to buy them herself. Clara helped her neighbors with various chores. She gathered firewood for Mrs. Green, picked apples for Mr. Brown, and ran errands for the baker. Everyone in the village loved Clara even more for her kindness and willingness to help. Days turned into weeks, and Clara worked diligently. Each night, she would count her earnings and dream about the day she could finally buy the red shoes. Her grandmother watched with pride as Clara worked hard and saved her money. Finally, after many weeks of hard work, Clara had saved enough coins to buy the red shoes. With a heart full of excitement, Clara rushed to the shop. The shopkeeper smiled warmly as Clara handed over her carefully saved coins and took the red shoes. Clara couldn't wait to try them on. She slipped her feet into the shiny red shoes and felt as if she were floating on air. She twirled and danced all the way home, feeling like the happiest girl in the world. But that night, something strange happened. When Clara tried to take off the red shoes, they wouldn't come off. It was as if the shoes had a mind of their own. They began to move, and before Clara knew it, she was dancing out of her house and into the village square. The shoes twirled and spun her around, and Clara couldn't stop dancing. She danced past her friends' houses, through the meadows, and into the forest. Clara danced and danced, unable to stop. She grew tired and called out for help, but no one could hear her over the rustling leaves and the chirping crickets. Just when Clara thought she couldn't dance anymore, a wise old woman appeared in the forest. She wore a long flowing robe and carried a wooden staff. "Clara," the old woman said kindly, "I know the magic of these red shoes. They were made to teach a lesson about being content with what you have and not being tempted by things that seem beautiful but may not be good for you." Clara listened carefully, realizing the old woman was right. She remembered how happy she had been helping her neighbors and spending time with her grandmother. The red shoes, though beautiful, had caused her nothing but trouble. The wise old woman continued, "To free yourself from the shoes, you must promise to be content with what you have and to appreciate the simple joys in life." Clara nodded eagerly and made the promise. With the old woman's help, she finally managed to take off the red shoes. She felt a huge sense of relief as she slipped back into her simple wooden shoes. The old woman waved her staff, and the red shoes disappeared, never to be seen again. Clara thanked the old woman and promised to remember the lesson she had learned. She walked back home, feeling more at peace than ever. Her grandmother welcomed her with open arms, and Clara shared her story with her friends in the village. From that day on, Clara continued to help her neighbors and appreciate the simple joys in life. She realized that true happiness came from kindness, hard work, and being content with what she had. Clara's friends often asked her to tell the story of the red shoes, and she always did with a smile, reminding them of the important lesson she had learned. Clara's life was filled with love, laughter, and the warmth of her community. She found joy in the little things, like the beauty of the flowers in her garden, the laughter of children playing in the village square, and the time spent with her dear grandmother. Clara never forgot the magic red shoes and the lesson they taught her. She grew up to be a wise and kind woman, always reminding others to be content with what they had and to appreciate the simple joys in life. Moral of the story: we learned that it's important to be happy with what we have, and not to be tempted by things that only look good on the outside. True happiness comes from helping others and appreciating the simple things in life. It's not about having the most beautiful or expensive things, but about being kind and working hard. Let's remember to always be content and find joy in the little things around us.